Hello, namaste. I hope you're well. Natasha Anand here. I decided to do a little card reading this morning because I'm going into pretty deep ceremony space later on this evening from about 6 o'clock onwards. I will be working with some really beautiful medicines, and just as part of my preparation for today, I did this card reading, but I asked for not a specific reading for me and myself. I asked to be shown and guided so that I can really show up for the planet, for humanity, for my community, and work for you all also in ceremony this evening. And so what I was shown has been very interesting, and I made a commitment to myself last week that I would do more readings for the collective, or for particular groups or for particular times, and that I would share that with others. So this is a part of that. So I am using a 4-card formation aligned to the 4 cardinal directions, and I'm utilizing the Vedic wisdom, tradition, philosophy, which is my lineage and which I've been born into, and I've been studying more intensely over the last few years. So I've arranged the cards with East, which is all about illumination, and it's our focus. North, which is wisdom and knowledge, and also wisdom and knowledge of the ancestors. The South, which is all about our creativity and our abundance, so what we will create, what we are abundant in, and also how to maintain our blissfulness and joyfulness. And then the West, which is letting go and surrender. So this is what I found. In the East, I pulled the portal card from the Starseed Oracle deck. There's actually 2. Very interesting. Seas of Mintaka is the second card, so we'll look at that in a moment. But let me just show you the portal card. Doors are opening, you decide, rewards, and wild card. So the portal card is all about new opportunities, and the bottom line is that we are at a time where there are new openings. A new portal is opening, a new opportunity is opening for us to get some really important work done. It may be projects coming to fruition, it may be something bigger than that, and it just, it makes sense. We are in such an important time of shifting. So much is shifting, so much is changing. Many people have spoken about this weekend there being a portal opening up, and I've had lots of people commenting on that. Some people saying that regardless of whether there is or there isn't a portal, we still have to remain focused on our work, and we need to be beaming out all of the time, not just in this one time. And other people are saying it's a load of new age bollocks. Some people are being really militaristic about it. We need to meet at this time, we need to organize, we need to do this. And my feeling has been that I work a lot with portals. And my feeling and my knowing is that, well, first and foremost, we have always a portal open within us. Our third eye absolutely is a portal that connects us to our higher selves and also to other realms. We always have this opportunity to exercise, to widen, to open this portal further, to peer into the portal and really call in and draw in the creative intelligence and the wisdom from our higher self and from source in order to inform what we do. And this card in the East is all about illumination. It's illuminating to us what we really need to focus on. And we've got to focus on this time where so much is shifting. We have this natural opening of opportunity to create change, to shift into creating the world that we all long for. The card that it was in the north was the card of Shekinah, who in the mystical arm of Judaism, in the Kabbalah, is seen as the divine feminine, as the light, the bringer of light. And I'm not going to go too much into her, but I'm going to just go more into the divine feminine. And again, so apt that this card would come up at this time, and for me also doing this really deep ceremony work this weekend. It is felt in the Kabbalah as well as in the lineages of Tantra, that the divine feminine takes the highest seat. The divine feminine is the creator, the Shakti energy, the bringer of light and vibration and sound and all of energy. So from the stillness, the void, arises the Shakti, the divine feminine aspect. The stillness and the void is the divine masculine aspect. And from that arises all of energy, all of the sound, and then light. So the divine feminine is showing us today, reminding us today that the divine feminine resides in each and every one of us, and it's that creational capacity that we have to manifest what it is that we want, what it is that we long for, what it is that we are here to create. It's not just about the feminine rising and the feminine having all the great fun jobs to do. It's about that divine feminine aspect within all of us to create from our inner realms, from our womb space, from our unmanifested womb space, to create this vision of the future, and then to take evolutionary action. And this again is the time we have this opportunity we've been afforded to be really still at this time. I've been talking about this for the last couple of weeks, that we are really in this beautiful opportunity to create this new world that we're longing for. So tapping into our divine feminine aspect and really honoring and nurturing our divine femininity is so important in these times for both men and women. So many of us women struggle with tapping into our femininity because we've had to learn to be very masculine to survive in the corporate world, for example, or in the outside world. And this is our time to really come back into our feminine presence and remember that we are all manifestors and all creators, and that feminine aspect is there to be in balance with the masculine and not just suppressed or dominated. And then for the south, which is the next place we go to. So did I show you the Shekinah card? So she's akin to one of the Dasha Mahavidyas, who is called Bhuvaneshwari. And she is the 10th Dasha Mahavidya, and she embodies light. That is her siddhi, her superpower. And Shekinah here very much looks like Bhuvaneshwari. That at the center of everything there is light, and I am that light that resides within each cell of our body, that is activating our DNA. And I've been receiving a lot of information, a lot of teachings around DNA activation, that ultimately through activating our third eye, we're able to awaken also our DNA. So this technology of the DNA, when it's activated at a particular level and frequency, it enhances the rest of our technology. So we're able to really, I guess, tap into those extrasensory perception so when our DNA is literally activated, we're activating our technology to the next level. And so our senses, our perception is different, is heightened, is at a more technologically advanced level. And so we can, it's almost like our brain capacity then increases. Our DNA that's junk, the 97% of it that they don't know what it does, that stuff starts to get activated. And so we just naturally, our superpowers come, which are the technologies that we have that's kind of hidden from plain view, that's deactivated most of the time. So this light is so important to bring that abundance of light in, because it helps with the activation of the DNA. DNA is made of biphotons of light. And so the more that we can bring that light in, bring that frequency in, and have the clear prayers and intentions, the greater a capacity we have to activate the DNA, and not just in ceremonial state, but also in everyday waking life. So the third card is release. Of course, going into ceremony this evening, we'll be doing lots and lots and lots of releasing, as always. So this is from the Chakra Oracle cards, one of my favorite decks, and it always comes up with juiciness. So the release card is in the south. So this is all about our creativity and abundance. And again, we are here to create these opportunities where we bring the light in and we can release with that light, with that DNA activation, we can release. And what are we releasing? So it's not really important to go into the story of most of it, but it's important to set really clear intentions to release that which has been buried and hidden. We have a lot of hidden secrets behind our wounds. We have even that knowing of the pain and suffering we inflicted on others. You know, there are these like layers of our wounding. There's these layers of our own karma that we've just locked away, and we've hidden secret from ourselves and from others because of the shame that we carry and the guilt that we carry for that. But it's time now to release that, because that shame and that guilt is like, it's part of the suppression of this stuff. The shame and the guilt and the judgment of ourselves, it doesn't allow us to like open this stuff up and look at it and bring it into the light so we can look at it and see it and release it and let it go. The shame, the guilt, and the judgment, it suppresses it and it hides it. They become secrets from ourselves and others, and and over time, from really allowing this whole default setting to be there and to just stay closed, we're not really giving ourselves the chance to fully heal. So it's really important to look at what secrets we're hiding. What are those really difficult things that we can't look at, that we have found it so difficult till now to look at, that we're judging ourselves about, that we feel guilty about, that we shame ourselves about, you know, those pains and sufferings and that karma that we caused our parents, our friends, our family, our ex-lovers. And it's time to not necessarily have to go fully into that, but to acknowledge that that's there and that be okay. Because it's only through telling those parts of us that feel ashamed, those parts of us that judge, and those parts of us that feel guilty about the stuff that we're hiding and locking away, it's only by telling those parts of us that it's okay will they start to loosen up and allow us to go past and beyond them and look at actually what it is that they're hiding. If those parts of us that have been judging and shaming and feeling guilty don't feel safe and don't feel that we can hold that space, then they're not going to loosen and open up and allow us to look at what's underneath that. And so this is the work that we can do in ceremony, to sit and pray with the elements and ask our inner world that to be given permission to sit with these parts of us, and then ask that these parts of us just be in our light and be in our energy, and just sit with that and just sit with that and sit with that until we can really acknowledge those parts with our light. We can acknowledge those parts of us that have been feeling guilty and that have been judging and that have been shaming ourselves, and we can sit with that and allow that to be okay. And in time they will soften, and as those parts soften, we will start to see those things that we've hidden. And when we're in that space of groundedness and steadiness and holding that space for ourselves, then it doesn't become a horrific experience to see what comes up. We can see it from the seat of our soul and we can work through it. It doesn't have to be this highly uncomfortable, traumatizing situation. When we are viewing this from the seat of soul, when we are viewing this from a place of stability, it really can be beautiful to like, and relieving to like forgive ourselves, you know, forgive ourselves for suppressing and for judging ourselves, and do that first level first, like for it to be okay that we judged ourselves and we shamed ourselves, for that to be, that's so relieving in itself. And then those parts feel like, oh my gosh, I feel relieved, I can kind of relax and I can let those guards down, and then we can see what's underneath there, and then we can release that. We don't have to do 20 years of therapy to release this old stuff that we did, that we caused pain and suffering in others and in ourselves. We don't have to, some of it, yeah, we do have to go into intensive therapy for, but some of it can really just go because we're just really holding on to it and it wants to be released. So the final card, which was in the West, which is Amethyst. Interestingly, I did like a little... I did a transmission the other day about crystals and on my 1111 antidote transmission, and I was talking about my like introduction to crystals was from my mum. My mum used to buy like jewelry with stones from me being young, and it just kind of, it was like she was introducing me to all these amazing crystals and their technology from such a young age without maybe her fully realizing and without me fully realizing. And one of the crystals she used to bring me a lot was amethyst, and it's a really, really special crystal for me. It's also really supportive in my digestion, which I've had inflammatory bowel disease and lots of surgery down in my bowels, and so like amethyst has been really, really healing for me. So amethyst is in the West, which is all about surrendering and letting go, and this is actually really, this card is all about inner peace and that inner peace and radiance and that light being our greatest protection. What amethyst is also telling us, though, in terms particularly of letting go, is to let go our obsessive compulsive behaviors and addictions, because it's those which are affecting our inner peace the most. And so this isn't just like substance addiction. This is like the neurotic addiction we have to certain thought processes. So, you know, like in the past, like I used to be really like, I love gossip. I want to hear about all the shit things people are going through. I want to hear like how they've fallen. You know, that in the past, that used to really rile me up. I used to love hearing those stories, those gossip, real life stories of what was going on to people and their friends and stuff like that. And that in itself is like an addiction, an obsessive addiction to this neuroses of being in this state of like neuroses of wanting to know more about people and wanting to obsess more about how badly they done. And you know, and that itself is an obsessive addictive pattern that we hold within our system, and we look for and we search for, and we revel in other people's you know, I'm talking from my own, I was reveling in other people's suffering. And that's the kind of thing I'm talking about, is that we need to let go of that really toxic compulsive behavior that's really causing pain and suffering in ourselves and other people, and really come into our integrity. And our inner peace relies so much on releasing this stuff that's just buzzing away, this neuroses within our system that's just there in the background that we don't even realize. It's just taking up energy, the grasping, the attachments, the looking for certain things, obsessing over our food or our weight or the way we look, or obsessing over the fact that my dad is a certain way, my mum's a certain way, or that this person, you know, I need to blame them, or whatever it is. It's like those addictive tendencies of the mind is one of the biggest drains that we have. And, you know, you get to a point where you really let go of a lot of this stuff, and you realize like 75% of our, you know, our energy is taken up just by those neuroses and that stress and that worry and that anxiety, like is just through those thought processes. And when we're really able to release that, we suddenly have this abundance of energy. We have like 75% more energy, and it's incredible. So inner peace, and inner peace is the key to our protection. And ultimately, we need to let go of those really compulsive, neurotic energies that are just pulling us down and away from this natural protection that we have as humans. Like, you know, we don't have to do much really to protect ourselves. We just have to maintain this practice of releasing, purifying, and cleansing, and being the light, and we have a natural protection. So, yeah, really interesting little reading there. Lots of opportunities are opening up for us to bring the light in and to share and spread that light and to hold others through that light. But also with that light to transmute and release what's no longer serving us, release those addictive, neurotic, compulsive tendencies that are just pulling our energy away, so that as we come through this situation, we can come through with like 75% more energy, with more abundance, with greater clarity, with greater perception. And this is how we're going to create and manifest this new reality, the new way, the new paradigm. So the portals aren't just opening up this weekend. We are in the portal. It's like it's open right now on planet Earth for us. We don't need to worry about getting Earth onto the correct course or the right way or the best timeline. Everything that's happening is for the highest and greatest good. We just have to trust that and know that with our consciousness and with our light, we're always in the right place in the here and now. And all we can do is create intentions and send our energy with those intentions to create the type of world we're longing for, so that the future has an opportunity to shift and adapt according to what it is we're calling in and what it is we're dropping into. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching this. Sending you loads of love and blessings. Have a beautiful weekend.